Welcome to this episode of The Culinary Edge. I'm your host, Ellard. We got a great show for you today. I'm loading up the White Menace because we're going to go to a beach south of San Francisco and we're going to harvest wild mussels. We made a Belgian wit beer that's going to go nicely with the mussels, so stay tuned. Okay, I think I got it covered. No, you never seen it? What happens is there's I guess an algae that creates a toxin in the water, and shellfish can actually accumulate this toxin, and if there's a high enough level when you eat it, you can get poisoning, and they call it amnesia poisoning, because one of the symptoms is you start actually having amnesia. So the California Department of Public Health monitors the level of the toxin, and we checked this morning, and a couple counties up they actually quarantined the mussels, but our mussels are okay. So hopefully no one will get amnesia. A lot of us have amnesia anyway because, you know, we're old and we've done a lot of here to pick up Nate Aquaman. Hey. I like to can I have the royal entrance, please? Hey man, how's it going? You ready to catch some mussels?
I am. Let's go do it.
Alright, let's go do it. So we're heading down Route 1, and today happens to be the last day that you can go on Devil's Slide, which is a piece of Route 1 that goes very close to the ocean. They put a tunnel in, so this is a historic day, and we're gonna get to our beach by going down Route 1, which could be a nice drive. Obviously, it's called Devil's Slide because you never know when parts of it are going to fall into the ocean. Okay. We reached our destination. We're going to go harvest some mussels. Tide's pretty high, so we're probably going to have to put some wetsuits on, so that we don't freeze our asses off. So the mussel season is from November to March 31st. After that, you're not allowed to harvest them because they could be high in bacteria. You're allowed 10 pounds per fisherman, which is plenty.
Aquaman team here.
How's it going?
Pretty good.
This is the rest of our crew.
Can't wait.
This section of rocks here is usually the best.
Yeah.
Because you can just kind of wade in and grab them.
Yeah.
You can go along the side there, but then you end up swimming more.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
So
We'll try this. Try these rocks first.
Yeah.
And then, so we got our other fisherman here, Octavian, better known as Octo. And how do we catch these mussels?
all right. So basically, the mussels attach themselves to the rocks with these really thick threads. So the best way to do is kind of wade out and cut off a big chunk, and they're all going to be stuck together. And I just found that your regular kind of reusable supermarket bag is the best container for them. But it's going to be a bit of a challenge. We've got a lot of swell today, and the tide's still a little high. So we're going to be getting knocked over by some waves while we try to pull the suckers off the rocks.
Okay, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And hopefully if we get swept out, there's some helicopters around so they'll be able to bring us in. All right, let's go fishing.
Yeah, let's go fishing.
So I would think that the far side of this big rock here would be the place to start.
Mama said there'd be days like this.
My feet are freezing.
Desperately that clings to his rock! What's left of his sanity?
So this right here is what we're after, and basically what happens is they're stuck on rocks, and they have this beard, so they attach to other mussels. So you kind of have to scrape them off and pull them off, but this is a beautiful eating size. Gotta get some more. Tell us what you got.
All right, so what we have here is a California mussel, and its range is from northern Mexico all the way up to Alaska. And a lot of times when you eat mussels in restaurants, they look a little bit more like this. So there's an Atlantic blue mussel, and it's a little bit sweeter, a little bit smaller. This is actually a young California mussel, but California mussels can get up to 8 inches long, and they can live for 20 years. So this is about a mid-sized one, but they get really big and kind of makes this look like a wimp by comparison. But they're really good eating. They're just a lot tougher and kind of match their habitat.
All right, we've had a great harvest. The tide went out, so we're almost done here with our mussels. We're going to tell you a shark story. So I've been surfing a long time, and I have very few shark stories, but I have a shark story about this place right here.
A few years ago, Ellard and I came out here to surf.
A beautiful day like this, and we decided to come down a different way on the path. And when we were coming down, he slipped.
I skinned my knuckle a bit.
We didn't think anything of it. We went out. It was a beautiful day. We had some great surf. We were out there about 2 hours.
We've been out for about an hour, and waves weren't very good.
I took in a wave on the way when I was paddling back out. I looked at Nate. He was maybe about 60 feet away.
Sitting on my board, and I see this sort of like long, thin shadow go by. And at first I thought it was just a big piece of kelp.
On the other side of him, I saw it looked like 2 pectoral fins go and dive right below where his board was, and he was on it.
I think he said his dorsal fin was out of the water. And
I don't like to yell shark too often.
he just starts screaming, "Shark!" and he does this fin on the head thing.
So we paddled back in.
And then he just starts paddling like crazy.
Got out of the water.
On the shore kind of freaking out about it, and then I was like, what happened? And he was like, "Oh, I saw this huge shark swim right underneath your board." And it's
When I looked down, I saw that his knuckle was bleeding, and it probably had been bleeding the whole time. My theory is it was probably a baby great white looking around.
I don't think that's really what happened. I
We are in the red triangle.
think it was just maybe a dogfish or something,
Sniffed the blood in the water.
because it was so thin.
Came to take a look. Great white,
Dogfish.
great white.
It's kind of a fun day.
We're gonna cook the mussels outside, and I actually had to pry this great little burner away from my friend. We're gonna light that puppy up. We're gonna obviously melt up some butter. One thing we're gonna do with some of the mussels, the bigger ones, we're just gonna steam them, and we're gonna eat them with drawn butter. We're gonna clean the mussels, and the first part of cleaning the mussels is to cut off this beard. The beard is really this sort of stringy type thing that they attach themselves to the rock with, and basically we're just going to clip that off. The bigger ones that we're working with here, we're not going to really clean them that much, but the smaller ones we're going to clean because we're going to make a broth out of them, and you don't really want all this junk to get in your broth. If you're going to have a mussels party, you need to have people that are willing to clean the mussels. And why? I mean, we're not going to say totally clean, but... Alright. Just put a little bit of water on the bottom of the pot, and we're just going to put these big mussels in until they open up, and then they're cooked. And then we're going to heat up some butter and have a little appetizer. You can see some of the mussels are starting to open up, and that means they're almost about done. Put a little bit of lemon, dip it in a little butter. Oh, that's awesome. A little lemon on there. So I recommend a little bit of
Pull the beer out.
A little bit of lemon. There's no beer. So Nate brewed up this Belgian wit beer, which is really it's a wheat beer. It's like a German Hefeweizen, but a little bit more fruity and a little bit more hops. And so it's also very carbonated. So when you pour it, you have to make sure that you don't have too small of a glass in there. You can see German wit beer. So we're gonna drink this with the mussels, especially for those people that harvested. Cheers.
All right, cheers. Oh, that's refreshing.
And I guess what we're gonna make now is we're gonna do a basic mussels marinara. First, you start with olive oil, shallots. Want to do the shallots for about 3 minutes. Next we're going to add garlic. I've got it already chopped up. It's probably about 6 cloves. Round that up a little bit. You don't want to burn it. I thought I had a stir, but she went away. White wine. So there you see the shallots and the garlic and the white wine mixing a little bit. Diced tomatoes, a little bit of salt, black pepper, red pepper flakes. I'm going to wait until that heats up nice, and now I'm just going to take our mussels and put them in there. What's going to happen is they're going to open up and let out the seawater into the sauce, and it's going to taste like the seawater. About 7 to 10 minutes to cook and open up. So we're almost ready to put the pasta in this marinara. Just put $5. That's
I'm gonna.
yeah.
Another way?
Yeah, I'm gonna do just the wine butter. Yeah, thank you for harvesting, man. Appreciate the help.
What is it, just pure garlic? Now there's nothing that stands in the way of me and pure mollusk enjoyment.
Took an ark to Amsterdam, found a park where they got scammed. They went to jail where people pay to watch them eat shit, sleep and play.
And with our bellies full of wild California mussels and Belgian wit beer, we went up to my apartment and formed a circle and told fish stories about the ones that got away and about the ones that didn't. We were proud of ourselves for catching our own dinner in a society where it doesn't happen that often. And I was reminded of a quote by an old fisherman who said, "Now is no time to think of what you do not have. Think of what you can do with what there is."